Hi everybody, my name is Alyssa.
And I'm Brytton.
And we read comics. Today we're going to show you guys our collection of comic books that we have so far, and then after we're done showing you guys all of these, we're going to go over some of our favorite comics and stuff like that. So if you guys are ready, we will get into our comic book collection. The logos for each superhero or villain, comic, whatever. Each one that didn't have a logo, I just did the title of whichever comic series it was and did it as closely as I could. So that's how we have it organized, and I guess we'll just start. Britton's gonna go through each comic that we have, and for some of the unusual ones, he'll kind of explain what they are.
So starting out, we actually got a pretty weird one. It's called the Marvel Comics. What it is actually back in the day, the DC and Marvel actually got together and created superheroes by just combining two ones. Like this is Darkclaw, combination of Batman and Wolverine. Pretty freaking cool by my standards. Next one, Avengers. Pretty standard. Batgirl, which Alyssa likes to read about. Got just a few Batmans. We're gonna work on Batman. Because everybody loves him. Batwoman. Got the last three is up here. You need 1 and 2 for the graphic novels. We got Black Widow, the 1, 2, and 3. Got the Bombshells. Now with Bombshells, actually, they were a bunch of variant covers to start out with. Like this is the Teen Titans cover. Okay, but at the very end, actually, it became so popular that it ended up getting its own comic book series, in which we have started to get. Next is, personally, one of my favorite video games out there right now is Borderlands. They actually turned it into a comic book series. Got a couple there. Went to 3 graphic novels, I believe. Next is Captain America, my personal favorite superhero to read. Next, Captain Marvel, Alyssa's, again one of her favorites. Then we got Catwoman, and then we have Carnage. Carnage is a very horrific read. I love it. Cyborg, my favorite Teen Titan. And then we got Daredevil. Not much Daredevil. Now we go down to the second row. And we got Deadpool. A lot of people love him because he breaks the dimension, the 4th dimension. And then Deathstroke, my favorite super villain. Next we have Dr. Fate. We only got one, I believe, one comic of Dr. Fate right now. Supposed to be getting in more. Earth 2 is a really cool read. It's about just the future's next JLA. Next we got the Flashpoint series. Trying to get the rest of them besides the Flash's version. Grayson, who, if you don't know, Dick Grayson dies eventually in the comic books, and then he becomes a secret agent. They bring him back to life and he's now a secret agent, kind of like James Bond. Green Arrow, not a lot of Green Arrow. I didn't care for him, but he has his own section. Guardians of the Galaxy, by far one of the funniest reads in here. Harley Quinn, another comedic one. Injustice, Gods Among Us. If you haven't played the video game, you should. And the comic book series is just right on par with the video game. It's kick-ass. Next is Claws. I'll explain Claws later in this video because it is just amazing. Miss Marvel. We have a lot of Miss Marvel. We just need 1, 3, and 4, and we'll have all of Miss Marvel series from back when. Right now we have all of the new ones, the Marvel Now series of Miss Marvel. I haven't really read Miss Marvel. And then we have Nova. Now this is younger Nova right now. There is his father, Nova, as well. And then we got Power Cubed. I'll explain Power Cubed a little later in the series, because again, it is a very awesome, funny comic, and I enjoyed it a lot. Then we got Red Hood and the Outlaws, and also Red Hood, and in the comic books we got Red Hood and Arsenal. A lot of people don't care for him. Personally, I love him because of his story and where he comes from. Then we got the Red Lanterns. Probably the goriest out of all of my comics so far. And then we got the Secret Origins, which is how the new 52 devised how everybody's starting now. And then we got She-Hulk. Then we got Silk, another new person that we just started getting. Spider-Gwen's a new one that we just started with. And then we got Spider-Woman, just another one that we started reading. Starfire, another an old classic Teen Titan. And then we have Star-Lord. Star-Lord is from the Guardians of the Galaxy, if you don't know that. And we got Superboy. Now the difference between, you see the S of Hope for Superman, but this is the newer Superboy's logo. Okay. Then we go down here to Teen Titans. Now for all y'all that love the classic Teen Titans, this is nothing like the classic Teen Titans that you remember from the cartoon. This is a newer version. It's pretty cool. I mean, you get some old, like you got Red Robin leading the charge this time and not just Robin. And then we go Thor, another classic superhero that everybody has to have. The Thunderbolts. Right now I have the Red Hulk's Thunderbolts. There's a whole bunch of different Thunderbolts out there. The Ultimates, which is a new series that we just started getting. I'll tell you more about them later, because so far their series is pretty cool. And then we got Venom, my favorite Spider-Man villain, who is now Agent Venom. Or Venom Space Knight. And then we have a couple of Wonder Womans. And we got the X-Force. I included in this one Cable and the X-Force, just because that's the X-Force.
Ooh.
And then we have the miscellaneous comics that don't really have an area yet. Preacher's gonna be is gonna be getting his own folder here soon. I'm thinking about getting everything on Civil War and Fear itself, just because I think that'd be cool. Forever Evil can be another one. I'm waiting for them to come out with the Cloak and Dagger series. I'll describe them later, because they're a duo that deserves another shot. And this is just, I think these are Punisher comics. Oh, these are just like our miscellaneous stuff. Punisher, the Scarlet Witch, her first ever solo comic. And that's about it for our comic books so far.
Yeah. And then on the shelf, just a couple of other things that we have comic book related. We have recently picked up this puzzle that we're going to put together and frame up and put it on the wall. I think it'd be pretty cool above this whole display. And then we have a Marvel trivia box. This is kind of cool. Just some trivia about Marvel characters. And then Brytton's got his Joker mask. So,
from Death of the Family.
Yeah.
Series of Batman.
Yeah. So just a couple cool things on here. So we're definitely going to keep you guys updated when we get a new series or new comics, whatever, and what
new
we think about
toys.
them. So now I have some questions for us to answer for you guys that I just kind of came up with. So the first question is, what is the first comic book that you ever read?
My first comic book that I ever read was a graphic novel. It was Deathstroke Legacy. It's about Deathstroke. It's about all of his past and stuff like that, and him want to become stronger than everybody else out there. And he has to go and protect his family. His son is actually one of the most powerful DC characters out there. I'm not going to spoil it for you because you got to read the comic to understand who he is. And that would be the first comic that I've ever read.
Alright. So the first comic book that I ever read was actually, so Brytton recommended it for me because about 2 years ago, he wanted to do like this superhero run, and we were supposed to dress up just like as a superhero or a superhero comic book character, basically. And so he recommended one girl to me because I wanted to dress up somewhat like someone that it would be easier for me to look like, because I wouldn't want to dress up like someone like Wonder Woman. Like, yeah, everyone knows who Wonder Woman is, but I didn't want to like put a wig on. Like, I have red hair, I want someone with red hair. So he said, okay, well, there's this one girl, her name is Starfire, and she's in this comic book series called Red Hood and the Outlaws. And so he gave this one to me to read, and it's a whole series, so I read the whole series, and obviously she was in it, so I don't know, I wasn't sure what to think of her at first, because, like, again, it was my first comic book that I ever read, so I was kind of a little bit shocked at how interesting or different she is. So I guess I just expected all comic book characters to be like this, but it wasn't. So I read more and became more fascinated reading other characters. So it was a good starter. Definitely just throw me right into it. So the next question would be, what is the first comic book that you ever purchased?
Deathstroke Legacy.
Deathstroke Legacy. All right. And then for me, the first one that I purchased wasn't necessarily the first one that I read, because Brytton purchased the first one that I read. So the first one that I purchased by myself on my own was Miss Marvel, the newer series of it. I believe it came out in 2014. It features Kalama Khan as the superhero. So Kalama, I thought that this one would be pretty interesting because she's a little bit different than the usual superhero. Yeah, she's got her powers and all, but she is different because she is in high school and she's Muslim, so she has to deal with pressures of high school and her family sticking her religion down her throat. So it was just very different. All right, so next question. What is your favorite superhero?
Kind of wearing, if you can't tell, Captain America. He's always just been my favorite superhero. Especially Steve Rogers as Captain America. He's always just stood up for everything. So, that I believe in as well.
Alrighty. And then my favorite superhero would have to be probably Captain Marvel. And I like her because she just kind of epitomizes the typical superhero. She was with the Avengers, and she has a really cute cat.
That's not a cat.
Well, no, it's not a cat, but
It's a cat.
looks like a cat, but it's not a cat.
Read it to find out what we're trying to say here.
Yeah. Next question. What is your favorite supervillain?
Deathstroke. He's probably the most badass supervillain out there. You pit him one-on-one with just about anybody out there. He's probably going to come on top unless they're completely super powered, like he's going up against Superman or the Flash. He's faced the Flash. Didn't exactly win because it's kind of hard to beat the fastest man in the world.
Yeah. All right, and then for me, my favorite supervillain would probably have to be, I feel so like cliche saying this because she's everyone's favorite, but Harley Quinn. I like her because she is super funny and I really like her stories, and she's just different from all the other stories that you would read about superheroes and villains, so I like her a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Next question. What is your favorite series right now?
My favorite series right now is Claws. Now, for you guys that don't know, it's actually a quite newer series. It came out this past November by Grant Morrison and Dan Mora. Grant Morrison's probably one of the best out there in writing, and Dan Mora, if you know Dan Mora, fantastic artwork. So you combine these two together, and this is actually what they came up with. Claus is about Santa Claus, and how he first started, how the legend of Santa Claus became what it is today. Except he's not so jolly old and red as people persuade him to be now. This is like one of the most perfect comics out there. Got everything that people ask for. It's got comedy. He makes a man. He turns a man into a snowman. Yeah. It's got adventure. It's got action. Just everything somebody asks for in a comic book. It's great, fantastic. I love this one so much. I can't wait for it's only a 6-part series. Can't wait for the next 4 to come out later on.
All right, and then my favorite series right now would have to be Captain Marvel. I kind of already told you guys the reasons why. I just like her stories. They're just very thrilling and exciting for me. Next question. What series are you currently reading right now?
Right now, I'm going through Batman, Captain America, Sam Wilson, Cyborg, Carnage, Claws, Earth 2, Deathstroke, Guardians of the Galaxy, Preacher, which is funny. God, I can't read more of that one. Venom. I think that's about all. Yeah. That's it.
All right, and kind of the same thing for me. I'm reading a lot of series right now just because I'm waiting for some of the next issues or volumes to come up, so I'm kind of stuck with a lot of them. So just kind of in order here. So I actually haven't started reading Batgirl yet. I have 1 through 5 right now, but I haven't started reading those because I just have all these other ones that I want to finish first, and then I'll get to that one. Batwoman I haven't started yet because I still need issues 1 and 2. Our comic book place that we get our comic books at, they don't have 1 and 2 in paperback, and I like them all to be the same, so I just have 3, 4, and 5 right now.
They all are signed right now.
That's true. Captain Marvel, I have her new series, Carol Corpse, that I'm reading right now. That just came out. Catwoman, I have read 1 and 2, the first 2 volumes of the New 52. And I just got number 3, so now I can finally read 3, 4, 5. And I'll be good there. Harley Quinn, I'm still reading her New 52 series, and I think 1 or 2 more series of hers as well.
The little black book.
Yeah. Miss Marvel, I have to get number 1 and 3, 1, 3, and 4 for the first series of hers, and then I can read hers. So I'm not currently reading those, but I will be. She-Hulk, I am almost done with the first volume. and then I have the second volume to read. That's the one that I just started reading just a few days ago, so that's like the newest one I'm reading. Starfire, I read the first like 3 issues. She has a new series, so I just started it, and I have about 7 of the issues right now, so I just have to finish reading those ones. Spider-Woman, I started hers, and I think I finished the first volume, but I can't remember. And then I have her new series that I have to read as well. And then Wonder Woman, I have her first 2 volumes that I read. I really like her. Those are all the ones that I'm currently reading right now. Next question. When did you start collecting comic books?
Only a couple of years ago, probably. I mean, it hasn't been that long. I see collections out there that are literally take up walls. Not walls. All I got is little shelf.
Yeah.
It hasn't been that long.
Yeah. And for me, I actually just started collecting a few months ago. Actually, probably like October, September, maybe?
September.
Probably September. So I think I've acquired quite a few for like just starting out, just this past few months ago. Last question. Do you prefer graphic novels or single issues?
It all depends. Like, if I'm trying to catch up on a character, I'm going to read the graphic novels, then try to find all the single issues. But if it's like a new series that just came out, I'm going to have the single issues. I can keep track of them all in my head. It's not that difficult.
And then for me, I prefer the graphic novels just because it's all like right there in one, all the issues. But for certain ones, for Starfire, her new series, I wanted to start that one right away and get the single issues just because she's the first superhero that I read about. So I just wanted to get those single issues right away and read about her. But other ones, I wasn't really super interested in getting the single issues on, like Batgirl, Batwoman. Like those ones had already been published, years ago, and I just started collecting, as I said before. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video, guys. So I think we're gonna be posting videos pretty much every Wednesday because we usually get our comics on Tuesdays. So basically, what we're going to talk about in our videos is we'll talk about like our series of comics. Like when we finish a series, then we'll talk about it, like what our thoughts on it are, if we'll recommend it to you guys, or if we tell you guys to skip it. We'll talk about our adventures. We'll take you guys along with us to our adventures to Comic-Con, like Comic-Con, like comic events, stuff like that.
I get to see some pretty cool, famous artists and writers that are where we get our comics. So.
We're also probably going to do some, since I know a lot of directors like to make movies based on comics now. Once we see a comic-based movie, we'll probably post videos on our thoughts on the video and let you guys know whether you should watch it or not. So I think that's pretty much it. So if you guys want to, really quick, in the comments down below, write down what your favorite comic book series is. Or if you recommend one for us to read, if we don't have one that we mentioned here that you guys recommend for us to read, definitely mention that in the comments below as well. What else?
I think that's it.
Yeah. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to us if you want to watch some more of our awesome adventures, if you guys enjoy comics as much as we do. And also follow our Instagram page. We have an Instagram page where we post about all of our comic adventures as well. just for little tidbits if you guys are into Instagram. We're super excited. This is our first video and I can't wait to post more videos for you guys. We can't wait to post more videos for you guys and listen to what your guys' feedback is, and maybe if you guys have some of your videos then we can watch them too. So we're super excited. So we'll see you guys in our next video. Thank you.